up this morning and I pray to the Most High. The sun is shining so bright. I'm blessed to live this life. Blessed be Yahweh. Blessed be Yahweh.
Shalom, sisters. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory praises to the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem, Hashem like Hawashai. And today we're just going to be going into being diligent and Shabbat Shalom for those that are keeping. And this is actually just the spirit. This is really the spirit because it's something I've been meditating on. The sister Lily just did a video last week about doubling up on diligence. And I too was struggling with that spirit of not being diligent. You know, I just moved last week, and so it's crazy. It's just the spirit because I came across 3 videos about laziness, 3 different videos about being slothful, and then when I was unpacking my I don't want clothes, there's a shirt that said "Get up and do," and Lord willing, I can post it at the end of this video or something. But there was this shirt that said "Get up and do," or I can just post it on the top. Anyways. But it's just a spirit. And then the sister Susanna, she just did a video yesterday about, you know, the Most High chose us. And she also just touched on, you know, just being on fire for the Most High because he chose us. And so this is just a spirit. But we're just going to get into it real quick, Lord willing. It's just something I've been meditating on, you know, because it's easy to get comfortable. You know, and you can be diligent in one area and you're not diligent in another. Like, since I had just moved, you know, I was being diligent in certain areas, but in other areas, I was just kind of slacking. We want to strive to be diligent on fire around the whole border. You know what I mean? But first, let's get the definition of diligence. It means having or showing care and consciousness in one's work or duties. Hardworking, exacting, rigorous, careful, thorough, constant, zealous. Zealous means showing great energy, enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or objective. You know, committed, driven, laborious, active. Opposite is lazy and casual. And then we're
conscientiousness.
Conscientiousness. It means the quality of wishing to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly. You know, so let's go back. Zealous. Do you show great energy to the Most High and His truth? Or is it just something you just kind of do? I mean, hey, you know, I get to it eventually. You know, I'll just read another day. You just kind of going with the flow. And something that I've learned watching videos about diligence and something I've even learned in my personal life. Having a routine, a schedule, something like that really helps in being diligent. Having a routine, a schedule, setting goals. Like, do you set goals in this truth? Do you write down things you want to get done through the day? Do you have an idea of things you're going to do through the day? Do you have goals for the week? You know, do you have a plan of how you want to increase for the day, increase for the week? Or do you just kind of go with the flow, go with the motion of things, you know, I'll just deal with it when I'll just get there and when I get there. No, we want to strive to increase in this truth. We don't want to get stagnant and just comfortable in one place. And it's easy to get comfortable in this life. It's easy to get comfortable in this lifestyle, this captivity. We have to contend to our husbands, our homes, your children if you have some. You know, some sisters might be in school, some sisters might be single, but still very, very busy. We have busy lives. I understand that, but let's not forget the main focus, the main goal is the kingdom of heaven, pleasing Yahweh Shema Shah. So we have to have a balance and remember that the Most High comes first, and it's Proverbs 11:1. Without further ado, we're just gonna go through these precepts and I forgot to get 1 Peter 4:11. But it reads, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahweh giveth, that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So I also want to speak, you know, what's well pleasing in the eyes of the Lord in Hebrews 10:24. You know, and give honor, glory to the Most High because it is of Him and only of Him that I'm able to get on this video and talk about these things and understand the Scripture. So we praise the Most High, call it Yahweh Shema Shah all the days of our life. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. So I'm on here trying to provoke my sisters, encourage y'all to go harder for the Lord, to encourage y'all to do better, to encourage y'all to get y'all zeal up, to double up on diligence. But without further ado, we're just going to go through these precepts. We're going to let the word of the Lord talk, because let the word of Yahweh be true and every man a what? Liar. So, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. So I think it's really beautiful how the Most High connects. We learn a lot of lessons through nature, through the animals, right? When have you ever seen a lazy animal? They're always on the go. When have you ever seen a lazy ant? The ant is always moving, always up and always moving. It says if you constantly sleeping and you constantly trying to get nothing done, your poverty is going to come. You're not going to grow. You're not going to increase. So if we are trying to strive to be better women in this truth, better Israelite women, better God-fearing women, better women that fear the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem, like Havashai, how are we going to grow? How are we going to increase? How are we going to be better if we don't put the work in, if we don't put our brick in, if we don't up it, if we don't take it up a notch for the Most High? Because like the sister Susanna said, the Most High chose us. He preordained us. So the least we can do is get the Most High our all. We can't be half in, half out this thing. This is not just something you do on a weekend. This is not just something you're supposed to do for fun. You got to ask yourself, is this really something that's important to me? Is this because our life is on the line? We're trying to get the kingdom of heaven. This is not a video game. This is serious. Do you really want the kingdom of heaven? You got to fight for it. You got to give it your all. This is not a game. This is not something you just do because you see everybody else doing. It's not a trend. It's not something you just do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday and Sunday you doing off and God knows what, all types of madness. This is Revelation 3:15-16. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I will thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm or neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So that's playing upon tables. That's playing upon tables. You don't want to be lukewarm. You're either gonna be on fire for the Lord, or you're gonna be, out the truth. There's no, this day I'm gonna keep the commandments, and then this day I'm just only gonna read on Monday. I'm only gonna read on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm not gonna do nothing else. I'm only gonna read one time out the week. I'm only gonna pray one time out the day. No, we have to increase. And I'm really, really thankful to the Most High for, sending that spirit on me so I could be like, dang, I need to get right. And the Most High, He put that spirit in me to just get up and just be productive and really get things done through the spirit. It feels good when you're struggling with a spirit and you get up, you be like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I'm back in the memo. Now I'm back in the groove. Now I'm back in the, what's that word? I'm back with it now. I don't know the word, but we got to be on fire, y'all. We can't be half in, half out this thing. You really going to serve the Lord or what? This is Deuteronomy 10:12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. With all your heart, with all your soul, serve the Most High. With everything you got in you, serve the Most High. Not just on some days, not just when you feel like it. Fight this flesh and serve the Most High. And letting y'all sisters know, y'all are not the only ones. That slothful spirit hopped on me last week. Last week, because that sundown will be a new week. So yeah, about last week. So sisters, we go through things calm and man. This is why we gotta exhort one another and encourage one another to keep going. This is why, because we go through things calm and man. Now I want to get Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him. Verse 23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily unto the Lord and not unto men. So everything we do should be for Yahweh Shai and unto the Most High. Give it your all. Give it your all. Whether you in school, whether you a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife, whether you work, go to school and you're a mom, or you work, go to school and you're a wife, or whether you work and go to school and you're single, no matter what you got going on, give it your all, because that's unto you. How about Shema? Don't be slack in anything, because all your work you do in the labor under the sun is unto the Most High God, Yahweh Shai. This is Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge in the grave, whither thou goest. So the Most High deserves better, y'all. The Most High deserves better. He's done so much for us. Go harder for Yahweh Shema Shai. Go harder for the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai. He's done so much for us. Baby, can you turn it down, my book of Shai? Or my headphones are in the closet. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh Shahamashiach is in you, except you be reprobates. So you know yourself. You know if you're watching TV too much. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real. My spirit be grieved. I know when I can do better. I know when I'm not going as hard as I can. I know when I'm giving something too much of my time rather than Yahweh Shemash. I know my spirit will convict me. So you know if you on TikTok too much. You know if you're on YouTube shorts too much, just scrolling. You know if you're on social media too much. You know if you're doing too much of vanity rather than serving the Lord. You know what you are doing too much. You know what to give your time to. Examine yourself and see how you can be a better sister. See how you can be a better daughter. See how you can be a better wife. See how you can be a better mother. See how you can be a better servant of Yahweh Shema Shai. See how you can use your talents more. See how you can put your hand to the ministry more. You know how you can be better for the Most High. You got to hold yourself accountable, be disciplined. You got to be real with yourself. Okay, I know I've been struggling in this. So like if you're struggling with lust, you're not going to be watching shows and movies where they got love scenes on it. You're not going to be listening to sexual music. Whatever you struggle with, you got to be real with yourself. Cut whatever is in your way off. Cut it off. You got to be disciplined. Discipline, I don't really like these definitions, but I don't really like these definitions. It says the practice of training people to obey rules or code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. That's actually good. You got to be able to train yourself up. You got to be able to, it says the practice of training people to obey rules. So you have to be able to train yourself up to obey the Most High. Okay, then if I know that, that's sin, okay, I'm going to stay away from that. If I know that I need to do better, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set goals to do this. You have to be able to train yourself up to know what's, to fear the Most High. And you train yourself up by these laws, statutes, commandments, this word of Yahweh Shema Shai. You got to be able to tell yourself no. Set goals, have a schedule, have a routine, get an agenda. I have a video about organization and slothfulness and setting goals. Go watch that through the Spirit. Because writing things out for the day, writing things out for the week, those things really help me stay busy. Writing things out. And when you get those things accomplished, you feel good. And I'm not saying you're going to get everything on your checklist done, but you want to strive to get things done, to be diligent, And diligence is not just, per se in this truth, but, because we're in captivity, right? So we have responsibility and things that we need to do. So you're diligent just even by, doing the things that you need to do in this captivity, taking care of responsibility. You diligent in that. You diligent in your praying, diligent in your reading, you diligent in getting your schoolwork done. Because that's the lot the Most High is giving you. And everything we do, all of our labor under the sun, we need to do it as we're doing it to the Most High. Colossians 3:17 and 23. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, whatever work you find to do, give it your all. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. So to be diligent in all aspects, be diligent in taking care of your home, be diligent in paying your bills, be diligent in taking care of your body, taking care of your temple, be diligent in your prayer, be diligent in your reading, be diligent in your fasting, be diligent in whatever the Most High has got you doing, be diligent in all of that. So set goals, have a schedule, have a routine, right? So we're going to go to Proverbs 20 and, now I don't want to make it too long because I do got to go to count my other one. So I'm trying to, get through these precepts, not trying to rush it, but I'm trying to, get to the point. This is Proverbs 20 and 13. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. So love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Don't love just always laying on the couch. Don't love just always being on your phone. Don't love just always staring out the window. or you're going to come to poverty. You're not going to grow in this walk. You're not going to bear any good fruit because you're not putting in the work. The Most High is not just handing out blessings and handing out the crown to people that did not put the work in. If you want the kingdom, you have to fight. You have to put the work in. Acts 14:22. We shall not get the kingdom without much tribulation. So in order for us to get the kingdom, we're going to have to put up one heck of a fight. So don't love sleep lest you come to poverty. Don't love that phone lest you don't grow in this truth. Don't love social media or that TV lest you don't grow in this truth. If you're trying to grow, if you're trying to get the kingdom, if you're trying to be better, don't love sleep. Don't love laziness. Don't hate laborer's work. Sirach 7:15. You know? Let's get Hebrews 10:4-5. I mean, it's like Proverbs 10:4-5. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. You know, so when you become poor, when you deal with a slack hand, you know, when you being slack in this truth, you slacking in your reading, you slacking in your praying, you slacking in your studying, you slacking in your praying, your fasting, you slacking in checking up on sisters, you slacking in your talents, you slacking in taking care of the home, you slacking in your schoolwork, you slacking at your job. Although you working for Esau, you're honestly working for Yahweh Shema Shai, you're doing unto the Most High. That's what you got to understand. You don't just be diligent in your reading, studying, praying, and fasting. You be diligent across the whole board in everything you do because you're doing it unto the Most High. You're not doing anything for Esau. Get it out your head that you're doing it for Esau. Everything you put your hand to do is for the Lord. Be diligent around the whole border, everything. So whatever you slacking in, you're not going to grow. It says he become poor that deal with a slack hand. So if you're slacking in your works unto the Most High, you're not going to grow. You're going to become poor through the Spirit. You ain't going to reach your goals that you want to because you're dealing with a slack hand. You ain't putting your brick in for real. But the hand of the diligent maketh rich. So when you being diligent, you know, you grow through the Spirit. You be rich in knowledge, which you understand the Most High bless you. You know, and this is it can be twofold. You know, he that gathereth in summer is a wise son. But he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. None of us should be sleeping right now. We should all be gathering. We should all be gathering because it's going to come a time where it's going to be famine of the word. We're not going to have time to get right no more. All hell going to break loose. So we all should be gathering. Nobody should be sleeping. Because if you often folly and you're not trying to get your spirit right, you're not trying to do better, the Lord don't need you. He don't need me. He don't need you. He don't need none of us. The Lord could cut our lights off at any given time. Yahweh forbid. But the Lord don't owe nobody anything. He chose us. Like the sister Susanna said, he chose us because of his mercy, because he wanted to. Let's get there real quick. And I'm sorry, I'm just passionate, y'all. I'm just passionate because we just owe the Most High. We owe the Most High. We're in debt to our Father. He deserved better. It's Ephesians 2:8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh, not of works, lest any man should boast. So the Most High didn't bring us to this truth because of any works we did. Not of anything we did. It's because his mercy, because he wanted to. Hold on, let me get another precept on that. Hold on, just wait a minute. Second Timothy 1:9. The water sisters in for this precept, okay? Who have saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Yahweh HaMashiach before the world began. So the Most High preordained us to come into this truth, not because of anything we did, but because he's merciful, because he wanted to. So we should be going hard for the Lord. He's done so much for us. The Most High deserve better. So increase in zeal, double up on diligence, give the Most High your all. Increase in the areas you slack in. And I'm not saying that we're not going to slacken things. I'm not saying that we're not going to fall because just men fall. It's a daily fight. It's a daily battle. It's a daily fight. You take it one day at a time, one foot in the other, step by step. I'm just saying don't be sitting around being lazy. Put in the effort and the work to increase. Put in the work because a diligent woman, that means you put in effort. You put in effort. You're not just winging it. You're not just, no, you put in effort. You strive to be better. You put in that work to get those goals done. You put in that work to strive to be a better woman. And this is Proverbs 12:24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful should be under tribute. You know, so the hand of the diligent is going to bear rule. You know, and that could be for the kingdom, Most High willing, or, you know, twofold, the Most High could increase you now. You know, he could increase you in the land of our captivity like he did Joseph. He could bless you in this captivity now. And I'm going to go to the next one. There's a lot of precepts in Proverbs about slothfulness, boy. Proverbs 13:4. The soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. So again, we see the Most High, he does not like laziness. The soul of the sluggard desireth. So those that are slothful, you're not going to have anything. What does sluggard mean? Let's get that. Sluggard, it means a lazy, sluggish person. Sluggish. It means slow moving, inactive, quiet, slack, depressed. And the opposite is busy. So just moving, just kind of taking your time in this truth. Like all hell can't break loose at any given moment now. And we don't know when all hell gonna break loose. I'm not Yahweh, I don't know. But we living in the last days. It says the soul of the sluggard, a lazy sister. You're not going to have nothing. You're not going to increase. You're not going to have the prayers you ask for because you're not putting in work. You're not doing anything. But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. The soul of the diligent. So the sisters that's showing care for their work, that's zealous, the hardworking sisters, the sisters that's dedicated, that's tireless, that's putting in work for the Lord nonstop, that's busy for the Lord through the Spirit. Those sisters are going to be made fat. Those sisters are going to get blessed. This is 2 Thessalonians 3:10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any will not work, neither should he eat. That's plain. That's plain. If you don't put the work in, you ain't going to eat. If you don't want to put the work in to be a better woman, you ain't going to better the fruits that you want. You're not going to get you're not going to get the fruit of your labor if you don't labor. If you don't sow, it says we reap what we reap what we sow. But how you going to reap if you don't sow anything? How you going to reap if you don't sow none? This is the challenge. Proverbs 14:23. And on labor there's profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. Let me make sure this microphone on. I'll be mad if it ain't. Okay, I'll pray this. In all labor there's profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. Penury just means poor or poverty, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it just means poverty. So basically, just do it like Nike. Because in all labor there's profit. When you put that work in, you get the fruit of your labor. You profit from it. You get something out of that in return. But just always talking about what you're going to do, you get poverty. So just stop talking, set goals, and get it done. Stop talking about I need to do this. Just do it. Just do it. Set goals, put effort, and do it. Strive to be better. Just do it. Stop talking. Stop all the talking and just do it. Don't put off day to day. This is Sirach 5:7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Stop putting off from day to day. You got to go hard like it's your last. You don't know if you have tomorrow. Don't say I'll do it tomorrow. Strive to do your very best today. Don't say I'm just so Friday. Oh my God, who said we're going to make it to Friday? Don't put off the day to day. And I know we be tired and stuff like that. So, of course, have a balance. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, just strive to do as much as you can in one day. Because it could be your last day. Don't put it off like we have it tomorrow. The Most High, he has me read 4 chapters a day. And lately, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, I'll read. Usually, of course, the first thing I do through the spirit is pray in the morning. But when I was working in Texas, I would pray. And I really didn't have time to read before work, but I would pray. And then, I would get ready for work and sometimes listen to a video. But, of course, I would be sending messages, texting my auto one or whatever the case may be. But now the Most High has us to where I don't even touch my phone until my reading is done. But this morning, I was telling myself, okay, I'm just going to read, this morning and yesterday, I was just telling myself, okay, just read 2 of your chapters now and just read the other 2 later. But then the Most High put in my spirit today, no, who said it's going to be later? Just read the whole 4 now. I'm not in a rush and I ain't got nothing to do with the Sabbath. Who said I'm going to make it to see 12 p.m.? I'm not being over righteous, but just being real. Who said I'm going to make it to see 12 p.m.? So if I have the ability in my hand to do well, to read my 4 chapters now, I'm going to do it. And that's the type of mindset we should have, because who said we was going to make it to do it? What's that precept? If it is in your hand to if it is in your ability, if it is in your ability to, it's Proverbs, I think it's Proverbs 3:27. Yep. Proverbs 10:27, withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. So if it's in the power of your hand to do something, do it. If you have the ability to get your 4 chapters in before you touch your phone and you're not in a rush, do it. Do it. Whatever you're able to do in that moment, do it. Whatever you're able to get done for the day, do it. This is Matthew 24:42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. We don't know when Yahweh Shai gonna come. We don't know when Yahweh Shai gonna come. So let's get right, sisters. Let's give the Most High our all. Let's do better for Yahweh Shai Shai. Let's go to Proverbs 19:15. Slothfulness cast into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. So when you always been slothful, you're going to be cast into a deep sleep. The Most High going to make you sleep spiritually again. He's going to take away your understanding. He's going to cut your lights out. Because right now we're awake. We were asleep when we was in darkness. We know no better. But now we're awake. We're awake through the Spirit. We have an eye to see and ear to hear. All praise to the Most High. We understand the times we're living in. But if you're being slothful, you're being a lazy sister, you're not trying to increase and do better, the Most High going to cut your lights out and put you in a deep sleep. He's going to take your understanding away. You're going to be spiritually asleep again. And then idle soul, a lazy sister, is going to suffer hunger. And that could be on a physical level too. But you're going to be hungry spiritually. He's going to take your understanding away. You're not going to have anything like the scripture says that I was bringing out earlier. Now let's go to Matthew 25, the parable. This is this whole thing kind of mean. Let's just get verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. They that were ready went in with him. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. So read this whole chapter on your own time, Lord willing. But, they didn't have they lamps lit. They was tarrying. They was kind of doing their own thing. And then the door got shut to them. He said those that were ready went in with him. So we all should be striving to get ready for that day through the Spirit. All should be striving to get ready for the kingdom of heaven. We should also be striving to get our spirits right. Because Yahweh Shai could come back any moment. Now is not the time to be lollygagging. And I'm going to jump down. This is about now the rest of it is about the talents. But I just want y'all to read this on your own time. But I'm going to just start at 24. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then in my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which have 10 talents. So Yahweh Shai basically gave different brothers different talents, and he didn't use his talents, so the Yahweh Shai took it. So the Most High can take your spirit. He can take your zeal. He can take your knowledge, wisdom, understanding. He can take your talents. He can take everything that he's giving you if you're not putting it to use. So put your talents to use, increasing your talents, increasing your works. If you read 1 chapter a day, try to read 2 a day. If you fast 2 times a day, if you pray 2 times a day, try to pray 3 times a day. Or better yet, set a prayer alarm every hour. If you fast once a month, try to fast once a week. If you fast once a week, try to fast 2 times a week. We got to double up on diligence, y'all. We got to increase. We got to try to go harder. We got to be better. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. And it reads, Always abounding. Therefore, my beloved brother, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Let's see what abound means. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Abound means to exceed a fixed number of measure, to be left over. It says to exist or be at hand in abundance, to overflow, to excel more than, to exceed. So we want to exceed in the works of the Lord. We want to excel. We want to have an overflow of the works of the Lord. Have much works of the Lord. Be plenteous in the works of the Lord. You want to have plenty of works. You want to be a diligent sister. You want to be a diligent sister. And of course, don't overburden yourself with more than you can handle, Sirach say. Romans 12:11, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. What's fervent mean? Let's see. It means having or displaying a passionate intensity. Passionate, intense, heartfelt, zealous, enthusiastic, wholehearted, committed, devout. It means totally committed to a cause or belief. So we have to serve the Lord with a fervent spirit, giving it our all, not slothful in business, not slothful in doing any of the works the Lord has blessed you to do. Because that's of the Lord that he's giving you those talents. He's giving you those works. Don't be slothful in it. This 1 Thessalonians 4:10. And indeed, ye do it toward all the brethren which are in all Macedonia. But we beseech you, brethren, that you increase more and more, and that you study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your hands as we commanded you. So we got to work with our hands, that you may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that you may have lack of nothing. So if we don't want to lack in nothing, we need to be increasing in our works and trying to be diligent for the Most High. Because I just put up plethora of precepts through the Spirit and Proverbs. This is not out of my own mouth. This is out of the mouth of Yahweh Shema Shah. He put the Spirit in these people, these men of the Lord, to write these things. So the Lord said, the sluggard soul shall have nothing. The Lord said the people that's lazy not going to have nothing. Not me, not Abiria. So if you don't want to lack in anything, you need to be increasing, doing the works of the Lord, and striving to be a better woman. Because the Lord not just blessing people that ain't doing nothing. Of course, He have mercy when we have mercy on, but you know, the Most High, his words is plain. It's not confusing. So now I want to get a few of accounts of our righteous foremothers and forefathers that were diligent, and then we're going to wrap it up and close out with a few more precepts. It's Acts 9:36. Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, when they had washed. They'll say my dog, man. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in an upper chamber. And forasmuch as Lydda was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples had a heart that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber, and all the widows stood by him, weeping and showing the coats and garments which Dorcas made while she was with them. So this sister was diligent in her work, y'all. She was so diligent, they was weeping, and then she got back to life. That's how diligent. Hey, that's how diligent she was. She had to come back. It was like, no, you gotta come back. That's how diligent she was, y'all. That sister was diligent, y'all. Diligent. This is Judith 8:4. So Judith was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months. She was, and also let me back. The sister Dorcas, she was diligent in her talent. She was diligent in her work. She was diligent in helping her nation and helping her community and using her talents and building it up through the prosperity. How about Shemal Shai? But Judith 8:4. So Judith was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months. And she made her a tent upon the top of her house and put on sackcloth upon her loins and wore her widow's apparel. And she fasted all the days of her widowhood, save the eves of the Sabbaths, and the eves of the new moons, and the new moons, and the feasts and solemn days of the house of Israel. So this sister was diligent in her fasting. She was diligent in her praying. She was diligent in her reading. She was diligent in these things. So call like how about Shemal Shah? And then we're going to go to Esther. Esther 4:16. Y'all got to read these books, man. These are mighty books, too. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go unto the house. So will I go into the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. So she was diligent in helping her people. She was diligent in fasting for her nation. She was diligent in this. She was diligent in her works. And we all have different lots. The Most High has given us all different talents. He's given us all different duties, all different gifts, you know? And she was diligent in that. She was like, look, if I die, I die. If I die, I die. She was diligent about helping her people. She was diligent about throwing up that fast, so Israel didn't get put to death. She was diligent in her works. And now we're going to go to Daniel 6. I'm going to just give y'all a brief synopsis. Read the book of Daniel if you haven't. But basically, Daniel 6, they saw how Daniel was perfect and diligent. And they saw that he was very perfect. And they saw that he didn't really make no mistakes like that. And they knew that the only way they could trip him up was by Yahweh Shema Shai, by our God. But even still, they didn't trip him up. And they basically made a decree saying anybody that prayed to a God, anybody that prayed to a God rather than this idol, you can go in the lion's den. And yeah, definitely they threw him in the lion's den. And he still threw up them prayers. In verse 10. Now, when Daniel knew that the ring was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast to the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true. The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of Medes and Persians, which altereth not. So they threw him in the lion's den, and he still, was beseeching the Most High and praising the Most High, because the Lord ended up delivering him out of there. But I know I just spoiled it, but Daniel was diligent in that. And, he didn't slack, even when his back was against the wall, even when his things weren't going his way, even when he knew that he was going to get thrown in the lion's den, he still was diligent in his works. He still was going hard for Yahweh Shema Shai, giving it his all. So that's a nice reminder and a nice lesson we can take from Daniel is don't slack to please men. Don't slack because things don't go your way. Don't slack because you could get put to death or judged or condemned for keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Don't slack because somebody may have something to say about you. At the end of the day, we're going to be rewarded according to our works, and however your reward look depends on you. If you're a diligent sister, you're going to have a nice diligent reward. If you're a slothful sister, that's what your reward going to look like. Because the Most High is not a liar. Revelation 22:12, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. So how your work looks, sisters, that's how your reward is going to be. So if you want a nice reward, you got to up your diligence. You got to up your game. And this is Colossians 3:24. Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Yahweh Shai. So actually, that's not the precept I wanted, but this is another precept to let me back off. This is another precept to let me back off what I just brought out through the Spirit. What? I'm on Psalm 62:12. Also unto thee, O Lord, belonging mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. So look, however your reward look, that's depending on you, sis. We're going to close it out with these last few, and that'll be it. It's Revelation 3 and 5. So these, so Lord willing, this has been edifying. I definitely needed this for myself. I'm going to definitely go back and listen to this because, y'all, that slothful spirit helped me. I was like, oh, no. I got to get right. So we got to get right. We got to encourage one another to be better. And, so this is just a reminder just to go harder for the Lord, increasing your works. The Most High deserve better. So just up it up, y'all. Step it up a notch. So these are just a few precepts I'm going to end off with, starting with Revelation 3 and 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be. No, that ain't what I want. I want Revelation 2 and 5. That's what I want, I think. Yes. Remember, therefore, I'm going to start at 1. To mean 4. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember, therefore, from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. So y'all remember what it was like when you was first coming to this truth, and you had that zeal, you wanted to know everything, you was so happy and excited. You remember that feeling? Y'all remember that feeling? You just had that flame. We got to get back to that. We got to get back to being on fire for the Lord like that. And it's easy to get comfortable in this walk and distracted. I talked about that last week, but we cannot get distracted in this walk. We cannot get comfortable in this captivity. This place is not our rest. Get ye out of here. Micah 2 and 10, this place is not our rest. We got to come up out of here before we be polluted with their iniquities. So if we want the Most High to take His Spirit away and to take our candlestick, we got to repent and do the first works and go harder. And I want to get Luke 14 and 28 through 30. And it reads, "For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost whether he have sufficient to finish it?" So we should all know that this truth is not going to be easy. So we got to count the cost. Lest happily after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish. So you don't want to put your work in for this truth. Put your brick in for the Lord. You don't want to go hard and you don't finish. You fall out. We don't want that, Yahweh forbid. So we want to continue to build. We want to continue to increase in our works, continue to increase in our fruits. We want to continue to build, continue to put brick on top of brick on top of brick. That's what we want to do. You don't want to build, put your hand to the ministry, start keeping the commandments, start wearing fringes, start dressing modest, and then you just faint because you got distracted, because you let the lust of the flesh eat you up, because you was on your phone too much, because you was on social media too much, because you wasn't wise with your time, because you kept making excuses, because you kept putting it off day to day. You didn't finish. The Most High took your candlestick away. He took His Spirit away. We don't want that. We don't want to get weary in well-doing. We don't want to be grieved and see this truth as grievous. Oh, man, another day it is. Oh, I got to read again. I don't want to fast. I don't want to pray. We don't want to move in that type of spirit. You got to rebuke that. And that spirit has definitely tried to hop on me. We all in this flesh, but you got to rebuke that. The minute it hops on, you got to fast. You got to pray. You got to cut that demon up. You do not want that type of spirit in this walk. We should be joyous to be in this truth. You know that precept, happy is he that hath the God of Jacob, roughly paraphrased. And I just brought it out in the other video about not complaining. We are in this truth. We could have been heathens. We could have been Edomites. But we know who we are. We had a spirit in us. We should not be complaining. We should love this truth. And yes, oppression maketh the wise man mad. But we got to move in the fruits of the spirit. We should be happy we're alive and know who we are spiritually. So don't grow word and well-doing. Don't get tired of doing the works. Don't get tired of reading. Don't get tired of praying. Don't have the mindset of, just another day it is. You got to have great zeal for this thing, great passion. It's Galatians 6 and 9. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So we're going to reap in due season if we don't faint. And that's the same thing 2 Thessalonians 3 and 13 says. It says, but ye brethren, be not weary in well-doing. So don't be weary in well-doing. This is going to be my closing precept. 1 Timothy chapter 4, 13 through 16. And throughout a lily for some of these precepts, watch that video, all praises. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which is giving thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Presbytery, I don't know. So don't neglect the gift that's in you. Don't neglect the works the Most High has given you. Don't neglect the talents the Most High has given you. Don't neglect those things. Don't neglect your exhortation gift. Don't neglect using your hands with sewing and whatever gifts the Most High has given you, whatever lot He's given you, don't neglect it. But meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Give yourself wholly to the works of the Lord. Give yourself wholly to exhorting your sisters. Give yourself wholly to fast and to read and to pray. And give yourself wholly to whatever the Lord has called you to do. Give yourself wholly to these things. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So continue in these works. Continue in doing the works of Habba Shema Shah, so Lord willing, in the end, we can get the kingdom of heaven to be saved. And actually, I'm going to close out this last precept, which I just forgot it, to be honest. Dang, that's crazy. That's Satan. I just forgot it. Meditate upon these things. Get yourself holy to them. Take heed unto thyself. Dang, I was finna get a precept. It was just the tip of my tongue. Give thyself holy to them. Give yourself holy to them. Dang, that's saying. But Lord willing, this is a helpful video. I love y'all. Only I'll continue to endure. Just want to remind my sisters to give your all to the Most High. Increase up in your diligence. Double up on diligence. Strive to be better, because all hell could break loose at any moment. We don't want to get comfortable. Have a balance in this thing. We don't want to get comfortable in this captivity. So increasing your works, increasing your talents, give yourself wholly unto them, and Lord willing, us continue to endure. And, as I encourage y'all, encourage myself, as I edify y'all this, but I'm edifying myself because I definitely needed this. But we got to strive to get Yahweh Shema Shah all, because the Most High has been very merciful and great unto us, and that's what He deserves, man. The Most High, He could take it away at any given moment, but He hasn't. So call Yahweh Shema Shah for that. So Lord willing, we continue to increase in our works and continue to endure. And I'm really like, that precept was just at the tip of my tongue. Dang, that precept. I'm really trying to remember it so hard. But it's snapping my finger like it's gonna come back to me. But okay, man's gonna say Lord. But kind of love y'all, Lord, and I continue to endure. Shalom.
Woke up this morning and I prayed